I love the names on this team. They have Sixto Sanchez, and they have my favorite name probably in baseball right now, Jazz Chisholm.
Showing emotion in baseball is terrible and should never be in the game.
It's weird how the dynamic works between sports.
But to win a championship, not only do you need great players on the court, but you need good chemistry, which takes time to develop.
Justin Fields is a all-time talent.
Corey Perry will give some veteran presence to the Canadians.
I feel like Luka will take that next step, and if he can get a three ball consistently around 35%, I feel like they could become a contender.
We can make jokes about you not being in the Super Bowl for 20-something years, but...
What's up, everyone? This is Justin Goldman from the Goalie Guild and Lift the Mask, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Austin and Kevin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. And long time ago, when the season hadn't started yet and was about to start, three guys were in conversation to hadn't signed with the team yet. And now we're going to look at those players because one, going back to what he was last year, one little regression, the other really bad and hasn't had this bad of an ERA since 2019, where it was a 6.75. And the man who is familiar with that season, Austin.
Yeah, and I don't really think the season counts because he only pitched in 4 innings. He got hurt early in that year. So, yeah, Jordan Montgomery's really struggled. This video, we're talking about the 3 main holdouts for this past offseason in the MLB, and that's Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell, and Cody Bellinger. I know still Kevin is happy with the Jordan Montgomery experience, but I can't say the same for the team that he beat in the World Series.
Yeah. And just looking at Jordan Montgomery's ERA wise, do you know what he had when he was with St. Louis? Off the top of your head?
It's a little above 3. His career in St. Louis?
No, just St. Louis last year.
Oh, that half. 3.15.
Close. It's 3.42, so about like 30. But he was 3.11 after he got traded from the Yankees, which is crazy. But then with the Rangers, he had a 2.79 ERA, which is, with St. Louis when he was also traded, that was the best ERA he had then with 3.11. But he's been a guy that's hovered around 3. But yeah, with Rangers, he was just insane, and I'm sure the Diamondbacks were thinking they were expecting a regression, but not a complete flip of the table, as he's a 6.26 ERA right now.
Yeah, and the craziest part to me is that he's above 500 it just shows that I think pitching wins and losses are the worst stat in baseball. They're not anything to look at. Jordan Montgomery, 6.26 ERA, 8-6 record, positive record. Does not display how he's actually been playing.
Yeah, and I do think part of it could be just not used to the team. Well, not now, but he had a terrible start to the season. And I guess Blake Snell struggled. I think Blake Snell dealt with injuries, but you talked about his Cy Young chances this year.
Yeah, they're not necessarily the highest because of Chris Sale. Chris Sale is still, I think, definitely the front runner. He has a 2.46 ERA and is pitching out of his mind. He has a lot of strikeouts. His FIP is 2.01. So it would have to take Chris Sale getting beat up in a couple games. But if that does happen, Blake Snell has a FIP that is extremely low with 2.79. His ERA is at 3.62, but that's a little bit overblown. And he's been pitching well as of late. I think Blake Snell definitely will come into consideration for the Cy Young. But it's Chris Sale's to lose, but Blake Snell has not had a drastic fall off at all. I still think he's a very dominant pitcher and one that I'm not shocked if he is top 5 in Cy Young voting this year.
Yeah, he's a guy that's always been unique to me because I'm not really high on him, but he continues to play well and he's playing close to what he was last year. So I'm curious.
Sorry to interrupt, but I do think that the Blake Snell experience for the Giants, I think, is a success at this point. I don't know if they could have expected or been happy with anything. I mean, with they would have been happy if you told them before the season, hey, Blake Snell's going to have this ERA. He's going to be top 5, top 7 in Cy Young voting. I think they take that all day.
Yeah, especially for what they got for him. I'm curious on what his market looks like after this. Because
He has an opt-out.
Yeah, which I don't think Jordan Montgomery has an opt-out. I think he's on a 2-year deal.
I don't know about his deal per se.
Oh, never mind. He signed a 1-year, $25 million contract. So, yeah, this is it. So, man, with a player option, actually. So, he's probably going to take that player option.
Yeah, I would definitely think so.
And then I'm pretty sure Cody Bellinger has something like that. So
I guess it's kind of like Blake Snell because it's kind of like a player option. He has to opt it out, so I guess it is kind of a player option. But I think Blake Snell probably goes back to the market. Maybe not, because the Giants have seen that they're rebuilding around him. They just need to get healthy.
I think he goes back to the market because the whole offseason, all these guys were trying to get long-term contracts for a high amount of money, and that wasn't happening with Jordan Montgomery. And in hindsight, it looks better, but you never know. I don't think Bellinger opts out because I think he has another opt-out again, and I think he's going to wait to get closer because he was hitting above 300 last year.
Yeah, now he's hitting around 270. Yeah. So, yeah, he is definitely not as good as he was last year, but he's not the fall off that we've seen from.
Yeah, he's not the fall off. Yeah, but I do think we see Snell go back to the market, and the Giants may work something out and just repay him again. But to me, Blake Snell is what you wanted when you're in a bad situation. But to me, I don't view that situation on them. I blame their agent on just the situations for.
Yeah, Scott Boras is definitely a polarizing figure, and I do think it's funny as well. Blake Snell has a losing record as a pitcher this year, 2-3, so it is kind of funny.
Yeah, and I think Scott Boras he just didn't judge the market correctly, and Jordan Montgomery's paying for it because he just didn't live up to what he did last year or close to that. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, so that's an update at them. One of the 3 chances, each one is experiencing different. One of the 3 chances, one what he was. I guess none of them are being better than what they were, which is the other side of the coin. But one, what they were, a little bit lower, and then terrible. So
yeah. There's one. It's met expectations, below expectations, and completely missed expectations.
Yeah. So that's just really tough, and I'm excited. I don't know if I'm excited. I'm interested in what the market does this year. Not with just them, but are there going to be guys in similar situations? I'm trying to think. Who's a guy that is trying to up for a contract? I think Nathan Eovaldi has a contract option, but he has more pedigree than the 3 of them. But I'm curious.
So you think that he has more pedigree than Snell? Snell's won 2 Cy Youngs.
Yeah. And
also, Cody Bellinger's won an MVP.
Yeah. I just think playoff-wise, Eovaldi.
Didn't Cody Bellinger win?
Yeah, he did, but Eovaldi's won.
Well, I was going to say, he won NLCS MVP.
Yeah. So maybe it's not that outrageous then to see what Eovaldi does in his market. Because he's a guy that had a bad market. He signed in December or January with the Rangers, and it worked out for them in the first. It's worked out for them because he's still a great pitcher. But yeah, I wonder what happens. And he does have injuries. Yeah, I think he'll have a player option for $20 million, which I could see him not accepting and just going back to the market. I'm trying to think of what other guys could go to market this year and kind of overestimate the market.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's probably going to be different this year because players learn from the past. So
Yeah. So that's something I'm interested to see happen, but we'll keep you updated on that. I'll turn this over to Austin.
yeah, thank you guys for listening. Please let us know. This is kind of what you expected from the holdouts, or if you expected a lot more. Please catch us in our next video.